Hello, are we live? Looks like we are.
Yes, we are. You are not sharing the screen.
Yes, I am not sharing my screen yet. Hmm. Okay, welcome to our stream. And now we are going to continue where we left off in the previous episode of creating Tic Tac Toe in Flutter. And today I will be doing some live coding and fix some issues with the previous implementation and hopefully get it deployed on different places, the web app deployed on different places. Okay, let's begin. Uh, hmm. Okay, I think might have some issues with sharing my screen. This doesn't seem to. Uh, uh,
What's the issue?
I can only share my second monitor, and the second monitor is the small one, which I don't use very much. Um, let's stop audio. Okay, I'll just share my PS Code window first and then switch it around maybe to different screens. Okay, yeah, the Visual Studio Code screen is now being shared. Uh, okay, but I don't think this is gonna work because I can't share what I'm building, only the code. Uh, okay, what should we do? Mm, 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 mm.
You can't share the mobile screen.
Yeah, I can only share windows or particular window, or I can share my other screen, but the other screen is smaller. Let me try something else. Okay.
Can't you drag the mobile application into this monitor? That
No,
screen.
that wasn't the monitor I was sharing. That was only the PS Code window I was sharing.
Okay.
So okay, let's try stop share screen. Screen sharing is easiest with two monitors. It says, but it only lets me share the smaller screen. uh, just disconnect my second monitor for now. Share, share screen. Screen share. If I do this and connect my second monitor now, what will happen? It is still sharing my normal screen. Yeah, yeah, it worked. Uh, Trust me, I'm an engineer. Let's be. Let me share my mobile screen so we can see how much we have built before. And let's
Are you
run.
are you mirroring your real mobile phone?
Yes, this is my actual phone that I'm sharing. I'm not using emulator because it is a little hard to handle emulation in my machine. So this is a screen copy util, and it just mirrors whatever is on my phone into and you can use this just like emulators. Uh, like, let's run this code. As we know, there are different ways of running Flutter app. Um, mm, 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 mm. I will run it from VS Code so that we can have hot reload on saving and all the other goodies. Uh, I also found some bugs in our previous code and we will fix them. The plan for today's stream is to fix those bugs, make the UI a little bit nicer, and also deploy it, deploy the web app in different places for free. So one of the bugs, let me talk about one of the bugs first, was our isWinning function here. Can you see the bug, Mr. Sandeep?
Well, of course not.
You cannot. I am giving you hints here.
I think the first thing is the future is not being used there, so I think the title should be replaced with future.
Yes, you found the bug. This isWinning is always checking for checking if the current game state is winning or not using the tiles, which is our actual game tiles here. The tiles was declared here. And so what that makes is it this run AI code. This is winning here. They are not working correctly, working as intended because it is only checking if the current state is winning. So if I click here, this will always pick the normal one because it cannot find the winning or blocking move since we are checking the current state and not the future state. So if uh, we should expect if our code was working correctly, the CPU chooses this style,
Oh,
but it is
so
not
the
working.
CPU is actually working with the current state and not with the future state
Yes,
that AI was supposed to
because
check. Oh,
the
great.
one we are passing isn't being used. So let's just replace all of this files
What is the shortcut for the
with
next occurrence?
next occurrence is just control D.
V.
Control D. D for dog,
Okay.
dog, duck. And, yes. If we wanted to rename all the tiles, then we could have done Control Shift L, but we only needed, however, many occurrences in this was. So if I save this code, it should hot reload, and now our AI should work correctly. So it's just the normal one in the last, and now it's just the blocking move. Now if I click here, then it will choose the winning move. Okay, that didn't work for some reason. Are we checking winning is first? Okay, there are some other bugs. It's is winning to future I equals 1. Okay, let's just remind ourselves what we had previously done. Future equals to, oh, we are doing here again a mistake. Also, you previously after this was the error. We are assigning, we are checking if it is winning for 2, but we are placing X. here and not O for first. Then so this syntax, what it does is this code, and if I replace all this with I, then this and the previous code are doing exactly the same thing. It's just um, doing dot dot is a little bit shorter, but yeah, this is same as what I have written here.
Oh,
So
that
what
was
we do
Flutter
is
Web.
assign a future where an empty box is occupied with 0 or the CPU's move, and if that future is winning for us, if we put 2, if it is winning, then we take that move. So it should block here, and now it should win. Yeah, you lost. Okay. The AI, the simple AI is fixed. So what we're doing is assign CPU's move, assign potential future move. The CPU move. I can copy this, and this is player's move, or not. This player's move. Yes, yes, this is player's move. And if the player would have won, if this place was occupied by a player, then we don't want the player to actually move into that place. So this is a little confusing. So if we have time, then we'll also fix what is one, what is two. New viewers may not know what it is, so we can make it a little bit readable. So just 0 is nothing is in the tile. 1 is the player or X, and 2 is zeros or the CPU. Okay, those bugs are fixed. Now there is also another bug. If I just change my settings to show tabs, or I think hmm, okay, let's fix another bug, shall we? Uh, mm, will you believe me if I said there is a way to always win in this game, or in our game, I should say?
Yeah, we start with the final one.
Hmm? No, we have the inkwell logic that is these steps, but it is almost always tappable unless these conditions are met. Yeah, we cannot tap what is already been tapped, and the game is not finished. So, and we don't have this problem while working with a single pointer device such as Windows or web browser. But while working with mobile phones, we can have multiple tabs at once. So you can see the circle, yeah, where I'm tapping. Okay, so I can just do 3 finger. Did you catch it or not?
Also, if the device could be tapped multiple times, then we are
Yeah,
assigning it the
in
value, so it
I'm just
should not
tapping it
be
faster
happening.
than the CPU can make the moves. So we have here 2 milliseconds, uh,
Delay.
200 milliseconds delay. If I send this to, let's say, 2000, which is 2 seconds delay, then I can just tap, 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 and the CPU catches up a little bit slower. And like this, we can always win. So that's one of the downsides of the code we have currently. Let's send this back to 200. So how can we go about fixing that bug? Let me just
Yeah,
breeze
I think
through.
we can
Or
remove
do you have
that
any
delay.
ideas? Or, Should I
We can
just,
remove that delay,
uh, but that would be a little
or that is not very intuitive
instantaneous.
answer. Okay.
Okay, we could
Um,
try removing this delay. Let's see if it will work. Since we aren't awaiting any future, then this function doesn't need to be asynchronous. Okay, let's try this first. I can do tap. Okay, if I tap with three fingers simultaneously, it still doesn't work, and it didn't even run the function a second time. So this method doesn't work, it seems.
okay, so how about we assign the tones? So when you press the button, or when you can press on the screen, so your tone is gone and it's time for the AI. We can just switch there.
Yes, that was what I was thinking. So let's just have a boolean for now. Uh, is it player's turn? Is player's turn? And we can just initially assign this boolean to true. And now we can check here, is player's turn. If it is player's turn, then only we assign this function to the inkwell so that the tapping works. But okay, and
We
we
have to
will
unset that,
just,
right?
it's player. While this AI is running, then it is not player's turn. So we will set it to false here. And after the AI has finished its run, we will uh, assign the turn back to true. Now that player can, now the CPU's turn has finished, so it is now again back to player's turn. Okay, will this work or will this not work? I have tested this beforehand and it won't work.
Why? Because it is
Can
not the state
you
variable.
guess why?
Because it is not the state variable.
No, it is a little bit difficult to explain. We are assigning this function if it is player's turn or not, but it is so fast when I do three taps like this, three finger tap like this, that uh, is this function, all these functions run simultaneously. Uh, so this doesn't get a chance to set itself to null, you know. So what we can do is, if it is player's turn, this function gets called so fast and in simultaneously that all three tabs are recognized. So I'll just, okay, there is a better way to do this also. I can just control dot, and or I cannot. Control dot and surround with if, and the if condition is player's turn. So, Dart is a single-threaded language, and even though it ran almost simultaneously, if we do this code, then it will now work as expected. It should work, yeah.
I didn't
So,
get one thing. So, why is that the each player turn? Yeah, shouldn't that function be already handling the code I mean, the function for the line number 90, the set state?
but we are assigning this function to run or not based on its player's turn, but this just almost always. Okay, let me show you print. Uh, Hello, I guess.
Or
And
is that function inside the curly brushes is run only when, is
no,
run on
when
RB tab?
when we tap these things, and uh, it just it knows it has to run that function because it registers all three taps at once. All I don't know. how to explain. Uh, how debug console. Okay, let's clear this first. Mm, ooh, okay, we had two tabs. It seems only two tabs registered and not three. Uh, okay. So this inkwell has on tap, and this doesn't get to remove this handler in sufficient time, I should say, if
Okay.
that makes sense. But if we do the check in the inside the function, then it runs as
Okay, so every time the function has to run, it just checks whether it's depleted or not.
yeah, and we can also remove this. It should still work just fine. Or maybe we could also have introduced a bit of delay before running this check, so it gets to check, but it is currently outside our scope, let's say. Okay, and we have won the game. Uh, Now this works. Now let's do something to improve our UI side. Let's just commit this for now. Fix some bugs. Okay, let's improve the UI a little bit and learn about Flutter and not just game logic. So I think if this playing field is a little bit difficult to see, it is a tic-tac-toe playing field. So let's just add some borders maybe. Yeah,
Yeah,
we can do that. For that, let's change this material we set to a container, and then we can in the container we can add decoration. So what
can't
will
we
be
add the decoration and material?
yeah, the decoration is a abstract class. If we see to go to this source code, I'm just control clicking, and it takes us where this decoration is declared. And what is this decoration? Again, again control click the decoration, and it shows it is an abstract class. And abstract class is a concept that this decoration cannot be instantiated. So if I do try to create a decoration object like this, then it will throw a red line error saying it is an abstract class and it cannot be instantiated. So we need a implementation of this abstract class, and let's see what is the implementation of decoration. See box decoration for a complete example. The documentation says. So let's try and go to box decoration. It is not letting me go to box decoration for some reason. But yeah, you should not use, you cannot use decoration. You have to use box decoration or some other form of uh, implementation of the decoration. So box decoration, I can add border. Border again takes box border, but box border is also a abstract class. You will learn this as you go, and by looking at other people's code, by going to Flutter documentation. So box border was required for border, but we have to use not box border but border instead. So, and in this border, let me add some, or we can assign borders ourselves, or we can do something like border dot all. So this just adds a border in all side. Otherwise, we would have to add at 4 different side ourselves. So control space color plus dot black maybe, and width is 1. I save this. Choose an error, and I know this error will occur. And what? Let's try and see what this error says. Mm, it is showing an assertion error saying color is either the color has to be null or the decoration has to be null. And why is this? This is something most beginners find very difficult to grasp while learning Flutter, because container is a very common widget. It is just like a div in HTML world, and you can assign color, but you cannot assign color and decoration like this. And if we go through the source code again, we can see why we can do that. Because when we assign color, uh, here is the line that was showing error. Either the color has to be null or the decoration has to be null. And here it gives what to do. Uh, to provide both, use decoration, box decoration, color. So what we have to do is move this color to inside the box decoration, and now it works. But why did it work? Let's deep dive. Let's try and figure out why it worked. Uh, if color isn't equals to null, then current equals to colored box color. Oh, okay. This implementation has changed a little bit since I last dug into this. Uh, but yeah, before it was just decorated box decoration, and it would assign this decoration box decoration color inside this. So yeah, whatever. You could just remember you cannot uh, assign both color and decoration. It is something like of a gotcha moment for most beginners. I am sorry if I wasn't able to uh, clearly describe why you cannot, but yeah. So now we have borders, and this is looking like a tic-tac-toe board. Okay, what else can we do to improve this UI then? Okay, let me again close this and build for Chrome. Maybe. Uh, I'm now building for Chrome to show the different how it reacts to changes in Windows, window size. Uh, Last time we did use an orientation builder to switch between a row layout and a column layout for the game and the stats. Maybe we could improve that today. Mm, okay, so this is portrait mode, so it is in a column. If I decide to make it a landscape mode, then it will move to a row layout. Flexible. Maybe in this layout we can also center align these. So alignment. Am I working with the right column right now? Children. Flexible. Yes, I can. Alignment. That's center. Uh, okay. Flexible. Maybe it expanded. Yeah, it was only taking up as small area as possible last time. So I change this back to portrait mode, and here is a bottom overflow happening. So maybe we can also fix these as well. Start. So in order to fix those, let's wrap with in the box maybe. And loose. External. Mm, 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 mm. Okay, I wanted to make this a little bit more responsive, but uh, another approach. Um, so dun, 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 dun. Let's use this with a layout builder. This will give us constraints. Uh, well, and start. Next site height is greater than width, then it is portrait, and if it is portrait, then we return row, otherwise then we return column, otherwise a row. So this works just like before, but now we have some more information to work with. So it's like maybe into ta, 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 ta. What can we do?
Can't we check the available space?
Mm, yeah, if like main and dot max height minus distance dot max width less than maybe again 100. If this is greater than 100, then this layout works fine. Yes, variable if a space equals to this, and if okay, if the available space is enough to build this 100 is just an arbitrary number, then we build the same layout. But when the height and width are very few, this is less than 100, let's say, then we will do something else. Maybe we'll uh, make this playing field a little smaller, I guess. So let's wrap this with size box and size box dot where dimension is okay space, then the dimension is null. Otherwise, this is dot less and 0.6 null. Constraint dot smallest is a size, so smallest dot shortest side. Okay, this didn't work. Maybe I should do double dot infinity. Mm, mm, mm. Debug console. Ah, let me swap this file. It's still not working. Okay. I should have probably coded some of these things beforehand. Mm,
Yeah, I love seeing experts struggle. So
yeah, this is good content. I just want to make this take small. Hey, but yeah, okay. If okay, it's best then it takes the whole size. Otherwise, maybe the easiest thing to do would be just yeah, that flexible. Now both of these are always same size no matter what. And yeah, let's just scrap this for now. Maybe some other day when I have become better in Flutter, I will do it. Uh, okay, let's maybe cross-axis alignment. Enter. Okay, enter to Hmm. Uh, hmm. Let's here again. To orientation dot portrait. Then it is column. Otherwise, it is row. So both of these are always taking same space. So we don't have a flexibility issue. Maybe we can also wrap this body in a padding so that there's some room to breathe for the game board. Okay. I was only planning to deploy this app with some few changes, but we tried and failed. We got to learn something new. Yes. Okay. Should we make any more UI changes? Gautam.
That sounds good to me. Looks good to me.
So should we deploy this now?
Yeah, I think we're ready to go.
We are ready to go. Okay. Let's get this as well. UI improvements. Mm, if you are already familiar with web builds, then you know about GitHub pages and how to build for GitHub. So if we deploy, if we use GitHub pages to host our web app, then it will be deployed at a site called as at the URL of this repo name, and we can change that using. So in order to deploy our web app, we need to first build the web app. Yeah. So if we just build the web, then it will build so that we have to deploy the web app at uh, at the root of the folder. I have already built this before, and the href is pointing to Flutter Tic Tac Toe, and this is because our uh, page's root will leave something like, you know, this will give us skillless s.github.io. I think no. If we were
Yep.
planning to deploy the Flutter Web App at this URL, then building like this is fine because the href is this. But our website will live not here but in something like this. So so we have to change our base href, and we can do that by passing a base href parameter, and to it has to start and end with what is this, forward
Slash.
slash, yeah, whatever. And it is also written here This is the placeholder for base sref that will be provided from the value the base sref, and it has to indent start and end with a slash in order for it to work correctly. So let's again build the app, or we could have just changed this URL, but you can just see how the automated process works. So what we want to deploy is not the entire Flutter application, but this web folder only. When we do Flutter build, then it will output to this app directory. If we're building for Android, then it would be around build app and outputs Flutter APK. These are the previously built Android APK files. And if you build for the default directory is inside this build, and this build is very used in size, and it is git ignored, if you can see or not, but this is a little bit muted, and that is VS Code's way of telling us this isn't being recorded in our source
Git.
code.
Yep.
So it automatically updated the base SRF to this. Now, if we take this build web folder and put it uh, in a separate branch or something, then we can use the GitHub pages to deploy our web app. Okay, let's do it the manual way first, and then we'll do something more fun and easy. Let's take out. Let me first reveal this in File Explorer. Uh, Copy all these files. Uh, GS pages. GS pages. How should I name this GS pages? GitHub only allows hosting GitHub pages from either the main branch or a branch called GitHub pages, but I don't know if it requires dash or underscore. Let me check that quickly. It is hyphen. Now you can copy all of this and place it somewhere else. Okay. So in this new branch, we don't want any of the Flutter files because we don't need it for deployment. So what I'm gonna do is just go to the Flutter Tic Tac Toe and delete all of this except the git. Otherwise, and this is a very tedious task, as you can see. And we'll also try and automate. So what we had there, we'll just drop it in there. Now, if I reload, all these files are gone. So this is what we need to deploy to the web, our Flutter application. So now, um, build. Okay. Now we should be good to go. Oh, I haven't pushed. Let's see. What is in? Okay. Your site is ready to be published at Flutter Tic Tac Toe and GitHub pages. So how do I publish this? Save. It's already saved. Ready to be published. Why isn't it giving me an option to publish privately to people? Good.
And maybe we have to wait.
It is already published. You can publish now. Huh. Okay, this is interesting. Then I have a docs folder. Or does this auto publish if you have a geospaces branch? For simple applications, there is also another way to publish. This I wouldn't say publish, but get it to the public. So all our codes were in single dart file, and in such cases, you can also and yes, here comes all the troubles of doing this kind of thing. Now all the build folders are here and they weren't get ignored. So it's showing use diffs and we don't need any of this because these files are only meant for the GitHub GS pages branch. So I'm just gonna revert all these changes. Yes. Or git restore dot. So if your code only has a single file, then we can also run this in the web using Dartpad. So, Control V, run. Your site is ready to be published. But why isn't it publishing? Choose theme. Do I have to choose a theme or something like that?
I have no idea. I've never deployed any app.
Uh, yeah, you only deploy to AWS, I presume. This site is ready to be subscribed to. Okay. In the Dartpad, you can also write some very simple Flutter codes, and you can only use certain packages in here. And if your demo app uses only those packages, uh, then you can
Deploy.
not deploy per se, but you can showcase your app in this Dartpad as well. So in order to do that, what we have to do is uh, we can learn how to do that through here as well, here. And if you read the instructions here, it will say to create a new gist, and you will have to name it main.dart and put all your Dart code here. And it can be a secret gist as well. So let's go. We have to change counter now. To create secret gist and just copy this gist ID and yeah, dartpad.dev. So it's that's that this ID will give you the source code here and the app here. So it is running entirely in the web, and you can just share to your friends or however you want to. And yes, this won't work if you import packages that aren't supported in Dartpad, but most of the used packages that run on web are supported. There are only 20, 23 packages. So I will put this Dartpad link in the comment box, and we'll also probably update our README with those links. You can see all the links discussed in our live stream here. And yeah, we will update that as well. Uh, Deployed links. Add and preview. Okay. GitHub pages. It did deploy the GitHub page, but
Is that working right?
this isn't working correctly in our GitHub pages branch. Oh, why do I only have config.yaml and index.md?
Maybe you
Okay,
didn't add.
let's try some another way. Okay, and let's build this again. Build set theme. Oh, it actually set the theme when we did. Mm, And in this test build, do we not have any HTML code here? Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Build web, Control A, Control C, E, and let's do neat. Not, uh, set of string. How do you do? Do you remember? Yes, I will. Again, I cannot do that. But can I? Hmm. Learning as we go. because we are skillless YouTubers, we have to do this kind of things. Okay, let's open terminal. Out. Okay, why does it not have any of these things? It only deleted. Uh, I am in main again. It's so sad. Yes. Now it should work, I presume. We have all the files committed to Git. I don't really need this YAML. Test build, it is checking. Build page with Jekyll. But we don't want to build with Jekyll, no. Hmm. What artifact? Okay, it worked this time. Fingers crossed. So now we have a working Flutter app in the web that we can share with you, share with our friends, share with the public. Hmm. Dartpad. How is this? Mm, this works. Should we in this right now, or should we try and do something fun? I also had many things planned, but due to difficult circumstances, we can also use GitHub Actions to automate this process. What we're going to checking out another branch, and that branch has different git ignore files, so it doesn't ignore previously ignored uh, things. So if I just put this VS Code tab site to site, maybe it not. Then oh, this one doesn't even have a git ignore. So all these build files ignored. When we check out to GitHub pages branch, then this won't be ignored, and you might uh, unintendedly push these files. So if I zoom out, yes. Yeah, whatever. Thanks. So all this is a hassle. Going to another, you basically have to have different folders cloning the same project, and one folder is just for Flutter related stuff, and another folder is only for web deployment. If you try to do this manually, uh, one other easier way would have been to create a docs folder in our Flutter app, uh, like this, and in the root, then put all the contents of this web folder. Mm, and this should also work, and you would have to change the main and docs and save it. But yeah, but this is also a little bit of hassle, as we have to build and then copy paste everything. Yeah, this also works. This would have been a little bit simpler, but if we want to make it even more simpler, then there is a automated ways of doing so. There is this Dart package called Peanut, and if you go through this documentation, then it just once you run the command with your and configure it the way you want, then it will just build it to another GitHub branch, another folder, and you can push it directly without switching branches. So yeah, it's getting a little late into the night. We deployed it into our Flutter app, the GitHub pages, though somewhat difficultly. Uh, and also we have the dartpad link here. This is very simple and only works for single file Flutter apps with not many dependencies. And this is a little bit also not performant because this is not a release build, it is a debug build. And if you are doing very intensive tasks, then this won't be as performant as deploying a fully compiled build application to the web using GitHub Pages. So anything you want to add? Looks like Gautam is already asleep. So sorry guys for very hasty kind of stream, but we are trying. Uh, we'll do bring you more contents for sure, and it probably won't we won't stumble upon as many hassles, obstacles as we did today. So bye bye, good night, happy learning. Let's get less skillless every day.